So students are not complaining that they're not getting part-time jobs, but they are complaining that, the part-time jobs are not as stable as they used to. So these students have had a higher satisfaction tier 2 university in a city where there's a Russell Group University. Those students seem to be having the best of all the worlds. There is enough part-time opportunities still. Most students are able to get part-time jobs. The problem that we see in part-time jobs is So hi guys, this has been an interesting trip so far. We've covered a lot of Russell Group universities and we went around almost entire England and Wales. We started our trip here in London and went on to Oxford. From Oxford we went to Cardiff to Bristol to Sheffield to Leeds to Liverpool. We did take a stop in between in Reading. Unfortunately, we did not meet any students there. But overall, I would say this has been an interesting trip. Very strong insights in terms of different universities and their specializations. We have more than 50 conversations across multiple domains of studies, including law, biotechnology, engineering, computer science, data science. A lot of different domains that we have covered this time. And as I'm walking here through London right now, I'm trying to summarize some of the key points that I wish to share with all of you guys. I think the number one insight is that we found that students typically who are coming to Russell Group universities seem to be more satisfied with their university and always had a more positive feedback as compared to some of the students who are coming to tier 2 universities here in the UK. Also, we found that students who are coming to Russell Group universities also feel a lot more pressure of education loan because their education loans have been higher and tend to be slightly under more stress for repayment, especially if they've come under loan. So that's another thing to kind of watch out for. And one more thing that I would want to say is that, the students who are there studying in some of the universities, I'll give you an example, like if you're studying at Cardiff Metropolitan and there's a Cardiff University in the city, or you're studying at Liverpool John Moores and there's a Liverpool University, in the city. So these students have had a higher satisfaction than somebody who might be studying in a university like a University of Bedfordshire where there is only that particular university. So a tier 2 university in a city where there is a Russell Group University, those students seem to be having the best of all the worlds because they get an ecosystem of employment opportunities. They get a system of, they can use facilities many times of these Russell Group universities, especially be able to access their libraries, have peer group who are there in these universities because, students will mix and match. So there is a lot of, the satisfaction with these students is actually higher. And if you are looking to economize on your studies here in the UK, then you might want to go to a university which is cheaper but has a Russell Group University or like a top ranking university in the city itself. Another strong insight came that, London seems to be a bit expensive for living for most students. But the cost of living being reported by students who are there in London is not that different from students who are probably there in Manchester or in Liverpool, or some of the larger cities. So like Sheffield, some of them in Leeds. It all depends on, boils down to your cost of accommodation. So one thing which I realized was that a lot of students are booking accommodation early, but for shorter duration, so that when you are here, you're not logged into like these year-long contracts and then optimize your choice. As we've been talking about, so this is something that I want to share more is cost of living is not that different. What comes to really add to the cost is cost of travel. This is again something that I've understood. Here in London, it can easily cost you 60 to 100 pounds a month extra on transportation. That is something which worries students here, but in most of the other smaller cities, the cost of transportation can be practically negligible because you can probably walk around most of the places. In London, to make the accommodation economical, you'll probably be living on the outskirts and you'll have to take the train every day. And that can really add up to the cost, 100 to 150 pounds a month as well. So that's a substantial increase in cost for the students. So that's something that you might want to keep in mind. But other than that, I think cost of living is high enough in most big cities. We found Cardiff to be quite economical in that sense. And some students in Liverpool as well commented that they were having an accommodation at around sharing room at around 250 pounds per month. So that was the lowest that we heard on this trip. That's something that to keep in mind as well. Apart from this, I think there is enough part-time opportunities still. Most students are able to get part-time jobs. They are able to work. But the problem that we see in part-time jobs is the stability of part-time jobs. That is what has gone down. So students are not complaining that they're not getting part-time jobs, but they are complaining that, the part-time jobs are not as stable as they used to be. So if you start at a part-time job, every 3 to 4 months you're actually having to find another one. So consistently being able to work at a single place, that is something which is going down. So that's another insight that we realized. And from a full-time job perspective, I think students felt a lot more confident this time. They also were a lot more aware that if they are not going to be working hard on their skills, they will not get a job. One thing which everybody said that consistently was that they will need to build their skills in AI if they want to get a job, especially in the tech and business field. Students in biotech were less, feeling disrupted with AI as of now. And students in law, especially at the bachelor's level, felt that right now what they need to really focus on is the fundamentals. And AI and using AI for research might be a secondary skill even today. So those are some of the insights from some about 50 odd interviews we've done this month. Happy to share more with you guys. And if you want to keep learning, keep knowing more, do subscribe to our channel. And I'm always happy to answer. Do leave these questions in the comments and show some love, guys. Do subscribe. And we put a lot of hard work here, and we would love to tell you more, talk to you guys more, share with you more from studying abroad around the world. Till then, guys, I'll see you all in the next video.
So if you like this content, please subscribe to our channel, and I will see you all in the next video.